LSU, Reshaping Futures.
Good morning, Lasallians! I am Angel Kagud and welcome to our Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022. Yesterday, we had our Presidential and Vice Presidential Forum of the USG and ISSG. Today, another group of aspiring Lasallian leaders who will take the torch and ignite the passion of leadership will take the mic and speak their hearts out. This Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022 is to review their policy records and reveal who they are and where they stand on issues that matter to us. Also, this is a test of skills and competencies, so you can make a side-by-side comparison of their personal and leadership history. To officially begin this forum, let us have first an opening prayer, and please remain standing for the national anthem.
Let me be the change I want to see, to do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the whole that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Let courage and humility fill me with spirit to face the challenge. It's all the change I long to see. Today I start the change I want to see. Even if I'm not the light, I can be the spark in faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me. Today I start the change I want to see.
Even if I'm not the light,
I'm not the light, I can be the spark. Faith, service, and communion. Let us start the change we want to see, the change that begins in me.
Jesus in us.
Jesus in us.
Mayang magiliw pala sa silangan, alam ng puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, duyan na ng magiliw, sama manlulupig, di ka masisi. Sa lahat ng mundong sasiwayan, sa langit mamahal, manirag ang tulat, awit sa panlayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilinig. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta mo ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya lamang may mangapit ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. That is why we are here today to inform and serve you, our fellow Lasallians, ahead of the July 13 to 15 election. Today we want to dig deeper, better understand, and of course, challenge our candidates. We will find out who is fitting, ready, and deserving to lead. Now, it's time to bring them in. Here are your candidates. Let us begin with R.B. May Anotado, studying Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, and a candidate for the position of CCSEA Governor. Next is Catriona Joy R. Almasor from the Accountancy Business Management Strand, and a candidate for the position of ABM Strand Governor. Pansi Roshan Kurthil G from the Accountancy Business and Management Strand, and a candidate for the position of ABM Strand Governor. Cheval Magison D. Biwang from the Humanities and Social Sciences, and a candidate for the position of UM Strand Governor. Vicmert Dane P. Barredo from the Humanities and Social Sciences Strand, and a candidate for the position of UM Strand Governor. Maria Blisela C. Namata from Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Strand, and a candidate for the position of STEM Strand Governor. Frances Rose H. Gonzalez from the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Strand, and a candidate for the position of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Strand Governor. Rafael Adrian Duhay Lungsud Valasote, studying Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, and a candidate for the position of CCSEA Vice-Governor for Internal Affairs. And lastly, we have Sayan May de los Reyes Fernandez, studying Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, and a candidate for the position of CCSEA Vice-Governor for External Affairs. It has become customary for candidates, particularly for governors and vice-governors, to engage in a forum. It is a structured argument that requires rules among them, limits on speaking time to ensure fairness. Each candidate will be given a minimum of 45 seconds or 5 seconds and a maximum of 60 seconds or 60 seconds in answering the questions. Each of the candidates is obliged to answer 2 questions per category, and there will be a bowl in front of the candidates with the numbers. The candidate will draw a number from the bowl corresponding to the question that they will answer. So here are the categories of questions. For the first category, we have the student-based questions. For the second category, we have general questions. And for the last category, we have the random questions. Now here's the lineup of the candidates who will answer the questions. First will be the candidate of Sisisea Governor. Next will be the ABM Strand Governor, Strand Governors, STEM Strand Governors, Sisisea Vice Governor for Internal Affairs, and then lastly, Sisisea Vice Governor for External Affairs. And to help you keep track of the time, you will hear this sound. To signal you have 15 seconds left. You will also hear this sound to indicate that your time is up. Now that we're clear on the rules of our forum, let us proceed with our first category, and let us begin with the candidate for Sisisea Governor, RB May Anotado. You may now draw a number. Number 15. RB, here is your question. What is a problem that you have seen on campus and want to fix? Again, what is a problem that you have seen on campus and want to fix?
I think the problem that we have in the campus is we lack of engaging with other students because of our virtual learning today. So as a leader, it is my responsibility that each of the CCIA students will engage with each other so that they will minimize their anxiety and we will eradicate our social problems, which is the mental health issues. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RB. Now let us proceed with Catriona.
Number 4.
Catriona, here is your question. What are your platform or platforms for the next school year, 2022 to 2023? Again, what are your platform or platforms for the next school year, 2022 to 2023?
So the platforms for the next school year, 2022 to 2023, under the Sandigan Party, we will be focusing on culture and student life. We will be also focusing on the moving of reform in the organization and in the student body. And not only that, but we will also be doing this with the Lasallian core values. So that would be our platform for the next school year.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now, let's proceed with Russian. Russian, here is your question. If a team member is underperforming, what steps do you take to improve their performance? Again, if a team member is underperforming, what steps do you take to improve their performance?
Thank you for that wonderful question. For me, under my supervise and I saw some people underperforming, I would communicate to them. I will reach out to them and ask them why. If it's about their internet connection, I would humbly say that it's okay for them. Just tell me what you do and how are you doing, and I will provide them with something to reconcile them. And if they are to improve their performance, I encourage them to find a better internet connection or something. And if it's about their mental health issues, I will gladly accept their reasons. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now, it's your time, Cheval. Number 12. Here is your question, Cheval. During the pandemic, what is your biggest lesson that you could share to the student body? Again, During the pandemic, what is your biggest lesson that you could share to the student body?
Well, the biggest lesson that I've learned and I'm willing to share with the student body is that no matter what situation, with proper leadership, a goal can be achieved. We can see that today because even though we are very spread out, the student body, we can still come together through the cooperation of the of the COMELEC and various student governments and leadership, specifically Sir Red. So again, through leadership and cooperation among members, a goal can be achieved despite the situation, in this case, a global pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shaval. And now, Vic Martin, it's your turn.
Number 7.
Number 7. Vic Mert, here is your question. As the next governor or strand governor, how will you able to check your constituents knowing that we are all struggling in this pandemic? Again, as the next strand governor, how will you able to check your constituents knowing that we are all struggling in this pandemic?
Well, as a strand governor, I will check my constituents, knowing that we are all struggling in this pandemic. Is my personal way for that is to remind them the purpose that we have established as a institution and as a and as an establishment, and I think that being part of the struggle is that what makes it helps us aggrandize not only just as a government but also an integration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vic Mert. And now let's proceed with Bless.
Number 16.
Number 16, Bless, here is your question. What are some ideas you have to better facilitate communication with your constituents? Again, what are some ideas you have to better facilitate communication with your constituents?
This is my first time being exposed to a bigger organization, and one idea that I find effective is to be friendly with them. You shouldn't just limit to see each one as your co-leader, but also be friend with them, communicate with them, and you have to establish a harmonious relationship with them so that you can also facilitate better communication to resolve conflicts and have good solution to the problems. Thank you.
Very well said, Bless. Thank you so much. And now it's your turn, Frances. Frances, as the brain of the organization, how will you resolve conflict? Again, as the brain of the organization, how will you resolve conflict?
As the brain of the organization, I can resolve a conflict by communicating with the community and give them ideas to help them to help get the goal and to help reach the goal that we should achieve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. Let's proceed with Rafael.
Number 1.
Number 1. Rafael, here is your question. During an activity, as the brain of an organization, how will you gather your fellow men in one setting knowing that we are facing this pandemic? Again, during an activity, as the brain of an organization, how will you gather your fellow men in one setting knowing that we are facing this pandemic?
So first of all, my goal is to understand each and every reason of our members so that we can communicate and understand why they can come, and we shall find other alternatives like making Google Meets, or for those who can come, they can come in one location, and for those who can come, they can join the Google Meet. So that would be all.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And for the last question for round one, we have Cyan.
Thirteen.
13. Cyan, here is your question. As the future head of your department or unit, how will you able to keep yourself on track having two big responsibilities at hand, being a leader and at the same time a student? Again, as the future head of your department or unit, how will you able to keep yourself on track having two big responsibilities at hand, being a leader and at the same time a student?
As a future head of our department, the thing that I need to do to keep myself on track, having two big responsibilities at hand, being a leader and at the same time as a student, is to have a time management. Because being a good leader, we need to put to our mind that it is a big responsibility to manage our time and to know what we should prioritize, especially in leadership and in keeping the setting a goal as a student leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan, and thank you so much, candidates. Then that ends our first round for our first category. Now we have aspiring Lasallian student leaders here in one stage today to answer the second round of our student-based questions. Still, we begin with you, RB. You may now draw your number.
Number 3. 3.
RB, here is your question. Consider yourself as an elected officer already. Here's the scenario. You are to communicate to your team about your plans for the upcoming event, but there's one among them who don't have a strong internet connection, and that person is really eager to help. Now, RB, how will you communicate him or her knowing the adversities? Again, consider yourself as an elected officer already. You are to communicate your team about your plans for the upcoming event, but there's one among them who don't have a strong internet connection, and that person is really eager to help. Now, how will you communicate him or her knowing the adversities?
So, as the head of the council, it is my responsibility to tackle about the problems we have. So if there is one person who cannot communicate because of there is a problem in internet connection, then we can have alternatives. We have data. And if she or he don't have a data, well, 50 pesos cannot weigh more than the ideas and opinions she or he can deliver to the certain programs and activities that we will encounter. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RB. Now, let's proceed with Catriona.
Number 5.
Catriona, here is your question. How will you address the needs of those students who are struggling in their online classes? Give concrete examples. Again, how will you address the needs of those students who are struggling in their online classes?
In this pandemic, we have all struggled with our online classes, especially us students. And so addressing these needs is very important. We have to understand that there are certain people that are going through mental health issues, or maybe even struggling to learn in an online environment. And so addressing these issues would meaning having to communicate with them, following up with them, seeing if they're okay, and to advocate for the mental health they may be going through, and as LaSalle provide as much as we can to those who struggle in an online setting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now it's your turn, Russian.
$20.
20. Russian, here is your question. How will you execute your position in this pandemic we are currently facing? Again, how will you execute your position in this pandemic we are currently facing?
I can execute my position in this pandemic we're currently facing through online or this limited face-to-face classes by helping the students in their academics, by valuing the students' welfare, and always communicating to them and reaching out to them, even though in the hardest times. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now let's proceed with Shaval.
Number 19.
Number 19. Shaval, what would you say to a student that feels like she or he feels vulnerable, alone, and without friends? Again, what would you say to a student that feels like she or he feels vulnerable, alone, and without friends?
Well, in this case, especially in a team setting such as the Toronto Fumes, we need to encourage these students who feel vulnerable that they are not alone. We are a team, we are a group, and we are aiming at one goal. And if he or she is especially introverted, then this is where leadership comes through. Because as a leader, you need to go one-on-one with your constituents. In this case, remind them that you are there for them. They can approach you whenever they feel vulnerable, alone, and without any friends. So as a leader, you are not only the leader of that group, you're also their friend. Thank you.
Very well said, Shaval. Thank you so much. And now it's your turn, Vicmert.
Number 8.
Vicmert, here is your question. Who is Vicmert? Describe yourself in 3 words.
In 3 words, I would describe myself as determined, altruistic, and innovative. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicmert. Now it's your turn, Bless.
18.
18. Here is your question. What do you think are the attributes and behaviors essential for governor or vice governor? Again, what do you think are the attributes and behaviors essential for governor and vice governor?
The first 2 attributes that came into my mind when I hear the word governor would be engaging and open-mindedness. As a governor, you are to govern the whole strand. And in that strand, you have students with different strengths and weaknesses. So as a governor, I have to be engaging to them and as well as being open-minded to all of their varied ideas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bless. Now it's your turn, Frances.
Number 9.
Number 9. What do you think is the biggest problem that the students are facing today? Why do you say so? Again, what do you think is the biggest problem that the students are facing today? Why do you say so?
I think the biggest problem the students are facing today is the pandemic and the thought of being alone during the pandemic, because they think that they do not have a friend to lean on, and that this makes this forces them to isolate themselves, and to the student government can help them and can be and are approachable for them to lean on and to open up about their problems. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Francis. And now it's your turn, Rafael.
Number 6.
Number 6. Rafael, how will you convince a grade 12 student from the other school to enroll himself or herself in LaSalle University? Again, how will you convince a grade 12 student from the other school to enroll himself or herself in LaSalle University?
So first of all, I will tell him or her my experiences as a Lasallian, that being a Lasallian is a very memorable experience, and the values and learnings that you will get from being a Lasallian is very important, and it doesn't also revolve around only to Lasallians but also to everyone. So that will be all.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And for the last question for this category, we have Cyan.
11.
11. Cyan, what do you think is the most helpful program or project that the current administration of your college government unit or in your government unit should be continued, and why? Again, what do you think is the most helpful program or project that the current administration of your college government unit should be continued, and why?
I think that the most helpful program that the current administration of my government is a webinar wherein we need to encourage all the students to express themselves, share their concerns and any problems in order for them to make feel that they are safe, loved, and they are valued by us. Also, it helps us to strengthen our relationship with the student leaders and the Lasallian. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan. And that ends our first category. Thank you so much, our aspiring Lasallian leaders, for answering the first set of questions bravely and sincerely. However, we still have many questions to ask when we return. This is the Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022.
One of the most reputable private higher education institutions in northern Mindanao, LaSalle University is committed to its academic excellence as a PAAS School Level 2 accredited institution. Tracing back the rich and colorful history of LaSalle University, the De La Salle brothers in 1990 agreed to assist in the academic supervision of then Immaculate Conception College. 4 years later, it was formally turned over to the De La Salle brothers and named it Immaculate Conception College LaSalle. In 2006, ICC LaSalle was granted the university status by the Commission on Higher Education and changed its name to LaSalle University. In the same year, the university was granted to admit foreign students by the Bureau of Immigration. Since then, LaSalle University has opened its doors to the world with college programs that are globally competent.
And now we're back. Let us now proceed with our second category. And at this point, we will be asking our aspiring Lasallian leaders general questions. Still, we begin with you, Arby. You may now pick a number.
Number 19.
Number 19. Here is your first general question. What do you think are the duties and responsibilities of your position? Again, what do you think are the duties and responsibilities of your position?
I think the duties and responsibilities of my position as a governor of the CSEA is I will mold every student from their physical, mental, and also from their well-being for them to be courageous enough and competent enough in facing every consequences as they build their future. Thank you.
Let us proceed with Catriona.
Number 14.
Catriona, here is your question. Is competition among a team healthy? Why or why not? Again, is competition among a team healthy? Why or why not?
I believe competition within the team isn't healthy. We are a team, we are one team for a reason. And yes, to other, against, let's say, other teams, it is okay to be competition, but within our own team, it isn't. We are there to support each other positively. We are there to be there for one another. And we are there to work with each other within the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Catriona. Now let's proceed with Russian. Russian, here is your question. What do you think is the first factor that allowed you to succeed? Again, what do you think is the first factor that allowed you to succeed?
I think the first factor that allowed me to succeed and get to this point is have determination. Having a support system is really important in this time, especially in the pandemic where I suffered a lot. But having a support system really helped me and my determination to continue and the motivation to fulfill my goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now it's your turn, Cheval.
Number 17.
Cheval, for you, what is leadership? Again, what is leadership for you?
Leadership is a complex concept. For example, you are not just barking orders because you are down there in the trenches, you are down there in the sideline, not only commanding your team but helping them. That is why a leader is very important in a team setting. A leader must be both guiding the team but also being amongst the team. You're not separating yourselves from the team. That is why leadership needs to be hands-on, not hands-off. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheval. And now it is your turn, Vicmert.
Number 11.
Number 11. Vicmert, as a future leader, how will you encourage creative thinking within your organization? Again, as a future leader, how will you encourage creative thinking within your organization?
As a future leader, I will encourage creative thinking within the organization is to let them evoke their own ideas, because I know that the ideas that they impart are based from their strengths and experiences, and to oversee allowing them to evoke their ideas, I have to ensure that I will meld whatever the discrepancies or the distinctions that they have in order to have the unity when we establish that kind of output. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicmert. And now, let us proceed with Maria Blasella.
Number 2.
Blas, here is your question. Are you more effective in a group or one-on-one basis? Again, are you more effective in a group or one-on-one basis?
I would be honest, I do most of the things effectively alone, but I would say it's a case-to-case basis because sometimes I get more encouraged if I work in a team, because in a team, you have your constituents, and with your team, you have more collective ideas and more collective voices in order to achieve to attain a goal with varied ideas at hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blas. And now it's your turn, Frances.
Number 10.
Here is your question, Frances. What traits do you think a leader must have and why? Again, what traits do you think a leader must have and why?
I think a trait a leader must have is transparency, because even if they do not have any ideas to give for the group, at least they have communicated that, and they are transparent that they do not have an idea which they can ask from other members. This trait can help gain trust within the team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. And now let's proceed with Rafael.
Number 18.
Number 18. Rafael, which supporting skills do you think are most important when it comes to leadership? Again, which supporting skills do you think are most important when it comes to leadership?
For me, the most important supporting skills for leadership is being patient and the willingness to serve, because with these traits skills you can lead your team in creating certain projects and making them successful and achieve your goals without any problems, or if there are any problems you can achieve it together. Yes, that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And for the last question for the first round, we have Cyan.
Number 4.
Cyan, here is your question. What is the most difficult part of being a leader? Again, what is the most difficult part of being a leader?
I think the most difficult part of being a leader is to provide inspiration, because as a leader, your members will always look to you to gain that motivation and inspiration in completing their project or their work. You need to be strong enough to motivate and give inspiration in order for the team to work and do something well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan. Very well said. And that ends our first round for the second category. And now we have aspiring Lasallian leaders or student leaders here in one stage today to answer the second round of our general questions. Still, we proceed with URB.
Number 5.
Number 5. RB, here is your question. What will you do when you are unsure about how to achieve the goals of the team? Again, what will you do when you are unsure about how to achieve the goals of the team?
So what will I do when I am unsure about about how to achieve the goals of the team? So this is the work of my council. I did not run alone. I run with my vice governors, with my board members, with my undersec, with my appointed people. There are times that we should deal with our mental health issues or any other problems. So there are times that we cannot handle the same thing as being a leader and being a person, so that we will need the other council's opinions and ideas for us to give progress to our future decisions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RB. And now we proceed with you, Catriona.
Number 9.
Catriona, who or what inspires you to run for office? Again, who or what inspires you to run for office?
I will say this in full honesty. Multiple things inspire me to run. And one of the main things are the people, the students, who and where I would like to make change with, and who I would like to work with, and who I would like to create memories with. Not only the student body that inspires me, but student leader that I sit here today, they inspire me. Those who work in the background, they inspire me as well. We all chose to serve here for LaSalle, and that inspires me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now it's your turn, Russian.
Seven.
Number 7. Russian, who among the leader or leaders whom you know that you look up to and try to model yourself after? Again, who among the leader or leaders whom you know that you look up to and try to model yourself after?
The leaders whom I know that I look up to is honestly, it's my mom. Because she's a single mom and she's fighting for both of us in case of different scenarios. And I'm hoping to be as strong as her and courageous as her as she inspires people, especially me. She pushed me to become a role model for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now it's your turn, Cheval.
Number 6.
Pardon?
Number 6.
Number 6. Cheval, if you will become the next Strand Governor, who among the members of your organization you think is the most important member and why? Again, if you'll become the next Strand Governor, who among the members of your organization you think is the most important member and why?
Okay, let me explain something. The concept of a team, in this case an organization, is like a machine. Even the tiniest bolt is essential to the functioning of that machine. So, as a leader, I think it is in my best interest to not favor or to think that one part of the organization or one role is important than the other. We are one team, we are one organization, we strive for one goal. And as long as we function in our respective roles, no matter how big, no matter how small, we will reach the goal that we strive to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheval. And now it's your turn to answer, Vic Mert.
Number 1.
Vic Mert, in what way can a leader fail? Give concrete examples. Again, in what way can a leader fail?
On my end, I would say a leader would fail if he or she lost the purpose or the motivation. And secondly, I would say that a leader would also fail if no one lost their belief or faith in you. And, you know, from my experiences, it would be a serendipity when there are a lot of people who will assess you and propel you and to become a great leader. But if you don't have those things, then you have least chances for you to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vic Mert. And now, let us proceed with Maria Blasella. Number 8. Bless, here is your question. If you are to choose, will you delegate the task or do you prefer to be involved in every task? Again, if you are to choose, will you delegate the task or do you prefer to be involved in every task?
You know, as a leader, it is your duty to see things in a bigger picture. I would answer that question, it depends. Because if I have seen that my members are capable enough, then I would let them delegate the tasks. But then, If I've seen that they're demotivated or they lack of inspiration, then I have to be involved in every tasks. This is where flexibility in a leader enters. You have to be flexible enough to adjust depending on the situation in order to achieve the common goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bless. And now it's your turn to pick a number, Frances.
Number 16.
Here is your question, Frances. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time? Again, what advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
An advice I would give to someone who's going into a leadership position for the first time is to always check up on themselves if they are capable of handling a big responsibility, this responsibility that they will be given. So they should always check up if they are mentally and physically, spiritually capable of handling this huge responsibility as a leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. And now we proceed with Rafael.
Number 12.
Rafael, how do you maintain your leadership development and growth? Again, how do you maintain your leadership development and growth?
For me to maintain my leadership development and growth is that I will always find a way to communicate with my members and especially to the students that we can contribute ideas so that we can improve ourselves, especially when we have lapses, and consult everyone. That is the very most important thing to do, is to consult everyone so that we can understand each other and adjust for when needed. So that would be all.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And now, last but not the least, we have Cyan.
Number 20.
Number 20. Cyan, why should the student body vote for you?
I can say that the student body vote for me because I am really deserving to have this position. Since I am responsible, I am a hardworking, God-fearing, and I know how to balance my time both in performing my academic and leadership responsibilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan. And that ends our second category. Thank you so much, our aspiring Lasallian leaders, for bringing your expertise and experience around the table. However, we still have many questions to ask back after our short break. Keep it here on Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022. And And we are back. And now let us proceed with our third category. And at this point, we will be asking our aspiring Lasallian leaders random questions. Still, we begin with you, RB.
Number 13.
RB, how do you announce bad news to your team? Again, how do you announce bad news to your team?
So, as a student council, there will always be disappointments and bad news that will happen aside from having progress. So, if I am going to announce bad news to my team, it would be with a smiling face, because I know that even though bad news will happen to us, as long as we are fighting fighting for it and looking for some solution about the news that we had, then together we can give improvements and progress to our council. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RB. And now we proceed with Catriona.
Number 6.
Catriona, what is the most dangerous trait in a leader's career? Again, what is the most dangerous trait in a leader's career?
I believe the most dangerous trait in a leader's career is selfishness. When you are a leader, you do not only do it for yourself, but for others. And so if you do have the trait of selfishness within your leadership career, that will bring you into such a dark path that I do not recommend any student leader or any person to go through. With selfishness, it brings negativity to yourself and to your team, and will be contagious and will affect those around you. And so those who have selfishness, please do reevaluate before you go into leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now it's your turn to answer. Russian.
$20.
Russian, if you are to compare yourself to anything, what would it be and why? Again, if you are to compare yourself to anything, what would it be and why?
Honestly, for myself, I would compare myself to anything kasi I can do better with finding inspiration to things and motivation, especially prioritizing oneself is important in today's time. And comparing myself to others is something I find kind of a bit toxic kasi I see that in my environment where I grew up, people start to compare themselves to others, and it's kind of bit not my expertise. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now we proceed with Cheval.
Number 8.
Cheval, in this time of pandemic, what is your greatest learning that you think will help you achieve your future goals? Again, in this time of pandemic, what is your greatest learning that you think will help you achieve your future goals?
Well, in some way, this question is just a repeat of the first question that was asked to me. So I'll just repeat my answer. With great leadership, anything is possible, and with great cooperation, anything is possible. So next year, I don't know the actual details. It may be blended or it may be still online, depending on the situation in the near future. But regardless of the situation, with good leadership and cooperation, anything is possible, anything is achievable. And that is why I ask the students to choose me because I can achieve the goals because I am a great leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheval. And now it's your turn, Vic Mert.
Number 18.
Vic Mert, in conducting activities, what is one thing you must always keep in mind and why? Again, in conducting activities, what is one thing you must always keep in mind and why? I am so sorry. Your question is, again, Vic Mert, your question is, when is the right time to speak and the right time to listen? Again, when is the right time to speak and the right time to listen?
When I hear the words right time, I think that any time is the right time to speak and to listen. Because when we hear out people, we do not want to invalidate nor speechify what they want to say. So I think that receptivity should be instilled in order for others to be heard too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vic Mert. And now we proceed with you, Maria Basela.
16.
16. Basela, are you ready and brave enough to face the consequences from the failure of doing what is expected from you? Again, are you ready and brave enough to face the consequences from the failure of doing of what is expected from you?
I want to be transparent to everyone. I'm actually very pressured with the state that I am currently in. And I would say that I am more than able, ready, and brave enough to face any consequences because I am at the phase of my life wherein the opinions of others do matter, but they shouldn't affect me. It is on me on how I should respond to them. And as long as I know what I'm doing and I know that I am at the right path, then no opinion can dictate me and no pressure can distract me from my goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bless. And now it's your turn to answer, Frances.
Number 9.
How do you feel traits like empathy and vulnerability play a role in your leadership? Again, how do you feel traits like empathy and vulnerability play a role in your leadership?
Traits like empathy and vulnerability play a role in leadership as a human being we feel these traits and as these traits can help us grow as leaders and as individuals and then empathy and vulnerability can help us make a bridge, build a bridge towards success and towards the students that we will lead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. And now it's your turn, Rafael.
Number 7.
Number 7. Rafael, as an organization gets larger, there can be a tendency for the institution to dampen the inspiration. How do you keep this from happening? Again, as an organization gets larger, there can be a tendency for the institution to dampen the inspiration. How do you keep this from happening?
If this happens, we will always remind them of our Lasallian values, which is faith, service, and communion, especially service. We are here to serve others. Our team is here to serve others. And serving others means understanding and becoming the role model for them. Making yourself as an inspiration for others really creates a healthy relationship to others, and not only to Lasallians but to everyone. So that would be my answer for the question.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And now for the last but not the least, we have Cyan.
Number 19.
Number 19. Cyan, in conducting activities, what is one thing you must always keep in mind and why? Again, in conducting activities, what is one thing you must always keep in mind and why?
In conducting any activities, the one thing that I must always keep in my mind is I am a leader. In telling myself that I am a leader will helps me to motivate and be inspired to do what I need to do and to inspire other people by doing well in everything that I should do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan, and thank you so much, candidates. That ends our first round for our last category. We have aspiring Lasallian student leaders here in one stage today to answer the second round of our random questions. Still, we begin with you, RB. You may now pick your last question for this category or for this forum.
Number 4.
Number 4. RB, here is your question. How do you continue to grow and develop as a leader? Again, how do you continue to grow and develop as a leader?
I will continue to grow and develop as a leader by having interest with my fellow students' ideas and opinions. Of course, their ideas and opinions are very, very much appreciable, especially when I am inside the council, because they will give their ideas, their problems about the school that gives me inspiration to grow and develop as a leader.
Thank you so much, RB. And now it's your turn to answer, Catriona.
Number 5.
Number 5. How do you align your organization with your vision and mission? Again, how do you align your organization with your vision and mission?
Well, first of all, we have to understand and we have to know that the Lasallian core values, first of all, vision and mission, and where service, communion, and faith. We have to remember that as a Lasallian. But as an organization, we align them by keeping to remind ourselves on what we are really striving for. What we are really striving for is to serve the people, to serve the students, to serve the student body. And with that, as a Sandigan party, with the same thing as culture and student life, the moving towards reform, as well as bringing, as I have said, the Lasallian values with us, then that is how I would align the organization in terms of our vision and mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now we proceed with you, Russian.
Ten.
Russian, here is your question. How do you lead brainstorming and foster creativity among others? Again, how do you lead brainstorming and foster creativity among others?
I can foster brainstorm and creativity among others by communicating to them, having an open communication, and inspiring them to have ideas and also share my ideas to them. And that brainstorming is something you need to be critical in thinking and making a plan. We can do that by making an action plan. We can also foster creativity by collecting the ideas from one another. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Russian. And now it's your turn, Cheval, to answer the question.
Number 2.
Cheval, how do you keep your team motivated despite conflicts and obstacles? Again, How do you keep your team motivated despite conflicts and obstacles?
Well, I believe that each obstacle and each conflict especially in a journey towards a goal, gives a specific lesson that is beneficial to the team in the long run. That is why when we run into conflicts and obstacles, I will always try to remind our team that there is a lesson here. We just need to find what that lesson is. And once we learn it, once we digest it, we can utilize it to advance to our goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheval. And now it's your turn, Vicmert.
Number 3.
Vicmert, what do you think are the lacking qualities of today's leaders? Again, what do you think are the lacking qualities of today's leaders?
I think the lacking qualities of today's leaders is the lack of receptivity and straightforwardness. From my point of view, I have seen a lot of leaders who have aberrated from a principle, from the veracity of principles and morals, to the extent that that person becomes belligerent, dishonest, and deceitful and selfish. So I think that the quality of receptivity and straightforwardness should be inculcated for the flaws, and the should be recuperated. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vicmert. And now it's your turn to answer, Maria Blasella.
Number 12.
Blasella, as a leader, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Again, as a leader, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
As a leader, for almost 1 decade, I could say that my strength is that I am a very engaging leader. I am an extrovert, so I am known to be a friend to everyone. But my weakness is that sometimes I decide spontaneously. I get too overconfident at times, to the point that I decide without any plans. And luckily, I've already worked on it. I find the 2 years of isolation, or the isolation due to the pandemic, I've worked on it, and I'm trying to still find the right process for me to overcome it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blas. And now we proceed with you, Frances.
Number 1.
Frances, here is your question. What is one decision you wish you didn't make? Again, what is one decision you wish you didn't make?
One decision I wish I didn't make was when I discovered an issue within the students that should have been brought up to the teachers or to the staff of the school, as it could have potentially harmed the institution, the students, and the individuals involved, as it was the issue talked about their personal lives that could have been harmful for their image. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. And now it's your turn, Rafael.
Number 11.
What is the main motivation of your leadership? Again, what is the main motivation of your leadership?
The main motivation of my leadership is, first of all, God and my family and my classmates. They are the ones who continue to support me to this day, and they have been continuing to push me push me to a better position right now, and they have been guiding me in this journey that I am facing, and they are continuing to support me in all the things I do. So that would be all.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And for the last but not the least, to answer our third category, we have Sayan.
Number 15.
Sayan, here is your last question. Have you ever been a member of a successful team? What was your role in the success of the team? Again, have you ever been a member of a successful team? What was your role in the success of the team?
I can say that I've been a member of a successful team since I am a freshman Lasallian, because Sared, together with the Judiciary Assembly members, they encouraged me to be myself in leading. They gave motivation and inspiration for me to do better things for the development of the Lasallian community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sayan, and thank you so much, candidates. That ends our third category. Thank you so much again for answering the last set of questions with courage and honesty. Also, thank you for bringing your expertise and experience around the table. Now we will wait to hear from our candidates to deliver their final speech containing their advocacies and platforms after this short break. This is Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022.
University is fully equipped with top-of-the-line facilities and amenities to match the demands of the advancing technology. Our Lady of the Star Chapel is a venue for students to strengthen their faith in God. The multifunctional audiovisual room, advanced library system, the 3,000 capacity art center, well-suited indoor and outdoor sports facilities, reliable bus system, well-furnished university clinic, safe and cozy dormitory with free Wi-Fi and no power interruption. Today, LaSalle University is and will continue to lead in reshaping the futures of the young and the continuing professionals. LaSalle University, reshaping futures.
And we are back. At this point, you are given the chance to deliver your final speech containing your advocacies and platforms. Remember that you are only given 60 seconds or 60 seconds to deliver your final speech. And now we begin with the candidate for the position of CCSEA Governor, RB May Anotado.
Good morning, everyone. I promote peace, justice, and equality for my community. I am responsible enough not only in my studies, but also with my family, my friends, and also for you, my fellow Aguilas. So I took this bold step running as your governor because I want to mold every Aguilas mind, body, and soul to become more courageous and competent enough in facing your future. So let us all help together, hand in hand, because our journey will always be more important rather than our destination itself. So vote for someone who will make the CCSEA community grow and foster. So I will try my best to make the CCSEA a community where we can build our dream and turn it into a reality. Again, my name is Orbime Anotado, running as your governor for the College of Computer Studies, Engineering, and Architecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RB. And now we proceed with the candidate for the position of ABM Strand Governor, Catriona Joy B. Almasor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Katrina Joy Almasor, running for grade 12 ABM Strand Governor. And I, just like every single one of you, a student that looks for change, a student that looks for a place of safety, who looks for acceptance, and looks for a place in where we can be heard. I stand with you. And as your ABM Strand Governor, let us walk together to advocate for these things. For the students who look for growth, development, and reform, it would be such a great honor that my party, Sandigan, and I would be of service to you. In Sandigan, culture and student life, moving towards reform while bringing the Lasallian core values with us. Sandigan is a party in where you can rely on. And so know that your vote will not only determine the results of this election, but will also determine in what future we will leave the future generations of Lasallians. So I ask of you, do not do this for us only, but do it for those who come after. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catriona. And now we proceed with the candidate for the position of ABM Strand Governor, Russian Kirthil G. Pansi.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Russian Kirthil G. Pansi, and I'm running for student governor. So, I am here to say to you that I am with you in your seek of help, justice, and equality. I want to have an open communication with everyone and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roshan. And now we proceed with the candidate for the position of Hume Strand Governor. We have Cheval Magison D. Biwang.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Cheval Magison Discalyar Biwang, and I'm gonna be frank. Humes as a strand is dying. Only 5% of students in the nation choose Humes every year, and that number is dipping every academic year. That is why we need to raise awareness and remind every student that Humes is essential, important, and necessary. And that is why if you vote for me, if you give me a chance, you will also give Humes as a strand a chance. That is why my slogan is Humes, also known as Humanistas Staying Strong. So let's stay strong together and we can do this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheval. And now we proceed with the candidate for the position of Hume Strand Governor, Mr. Vicmert Dane P. Barredo.
First of all, good morning, and it is an honor and a privilege to be part of the Sandigan Party List, which our focal points are student culture and life, reform and values. And secondly, I want to say that you really want to choose someone or a conglomeration who is who is compassionate and adamant towards not only the institution but the student body as well. So if you really want the tribulations to be alleviated, then you can entrust us, because a wise vote for a day will keep the dilemma away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vic Mert. And now it's your turn, the candidate for the position of STEM Strand Governor, Maria Blesala C. Namata.
Pax et bonum, peace and all good. Standing in front of you is Bless, a grade 12 STEM Strand Governor running under the banner of Sandigan Party List. Together with my party list, I adhere to attain our three main platforms, which is to improve student life, to reform the student government, and to constantly remind the student body of the core values of LaSalle University. I was wondering because it felt like I ran out of words to say, realizing that I hate promises. I never promise, I act. One thing that I can assure my fellow Lasallians is that I am geared up and more than ready for this role, and I am ready to face this challenge. Once again, this is Bless, a mental wellness advocate, saying that I am not just your leader. I am your servant and your companion. Ang inyong sandigan sa panahon ng pangangailangan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Blasala. And now it's your turn. The candidate for the position of STEM Strand Governor, Frances Rose H. Gonzalez.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frances Rose H. Gonzalez. I am running for STEM Governor, and I am here to utilize and maximize my capabilities as a leader and as a student. I am here to serve you and to approach you for your problems and your concerns. And I am not here running alone. I am here running with the Sandigan Party. We are here to serve, to focus on the students' welfare and development. And as we try to bring more focus and purpose for the student government, as we will reform this and make it more approachable and a step closer to you students. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frances. And now we proceed with the candidate for the position of CCSEA Vice Governor for Internal Affairs, Rafael Adrian Duhailungsod Valasote.
So good morning, everyone. My name is Rafael Adrian Valasote, running for Vice Governor for Internal Affairs for CCSEA. So we, the Sherwin Party List, are aiming to improve each and every student's lives and welfare. We are committed in making every student's voices be heard, and we are committed to help them in every problem that they encounter. So I will be ending this speech to the Sherwin Party List tagline. We, the Sherwin Party List, will always make sure that no Aguilas will be left behind. That will be all.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And of course, the last but not the least, we have the candidate for the position of CCSEA Vice Governor for External Affairs, Cyan May de los Reyes Fernandez.
Hello, Lasallian. Again, I am Cyan May de los Reyes Fernandez, running for a Vice Governor for External Affairs for the College of Computer Studies, Engineering, and Architecture. I am asking you all to please vote for me and at least give me a chance to serve you and bring light to your life story as an aspiring Lasallian. I can say that I really deserve this position since I am responsible, a God-fearing, and an honest leader. I ensure you that if you vote for me, you will experience a good, healthy, and honest service. Again, I've run for this position not for myself, but for all the Lasallian. I want to express my love to them and to at least contribute something for the betterment of the Lasallian community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cyan. And now, Lasallians, there you have it. You heard it straight from the candidates themselves. Now, the decision is yours. Thank you so much, candidates, for showing up in the most difficult times and for your participation in our democratic process. I would also like to thank those of you who are watching on our digital platforms. Also, thank you so much, Educational and Digital Media Services Team, Leadership Development and Wellness Office, and Student Activities Center for making this happen. Also, do not forget to like and visit the LaSalle University Ozamis Facebook page and University Student Government official Facebook page to get regular updates. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our Gubernatorial and Vice-Gubernatorial Forum 2022. I am Angel Kagud, your host for today. Animo, LaSalle.
Hail, alma mater, hail today, LaSalle. We'll hold your banner high and bright, a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright and never shine. a shield of green and white. We'll fight to keep your glory bright and never shine.